Thank you for joining us on Business Now. My name is Perpetua Fasami Peter. To the stories now, the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar Aliyu, has said the country will be partnering with China on renewable energy. This is according to a statement on his Twitter account late Tuesday night. The minister wrote that on Tuesday, November 29, he met with a delegation from the China Renewable Energy Engineering Institute, CREEI, led by the Deputy Director General of the Institute, Gu Hongin. During the visit, both parties spoke about potential cooperation between Nigeria and the Institute. Hongin sought to cooperate with Nigeria in areas of capacity building and research. However, Engineer Aliyu sought cooperation with the Institute on the implementation of Nigeria's energy transition plan. And moving on, the federal government has revealed that it plans to lease its food silos to the private sector and earn 18 billion naira from the process. This was disclosed by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Mohammed Abubakar in Abuja. The federal government plans to concession 19 silos to enable private sector participation in food storage for farm use. The minister stated that the concession would reduce post-harvest losses, which farmers, especially those in rural areas, suffer year-round, citing that 6,250 metric tons of storage facilities were leased to the private sector to enhance food security in the country. He added that the federal government introduced the policy to provide an enabling environment for private individuals to contribute to agriculture and food security, as it plans to launch 17 green aggregation centers to process agricultural produce and reduce post-production losses. The chairman of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, Ikeja District, Olusegun Okwade, has kicked against more increase in value-added tax (VAT) as recommended by the International Monetary Fund (IMF). He explained that the proposed 100% recommendation from the current level of 7.5% to 15% was a wrong approach and said a better approach would be to widen Nigeria's tax base.
That the small surviving companies are the ones you're still going to keep, knowing fully well that aside the taxes that these people pay, they pay additional taxes in the area of provision of certain infrastructure for themselves. The company that pays those taxes to the government still provide his own water, provide his own road, provide his own power, and you ask yourself, they are taxes, but you may not be able to attribute it. You only hide it under operational expense. So I would say that government should look for ways to expand the tax base for them to be able to recoup it and earn the trust of every individual in such a way that when you expand the tax, first you fulfill your social contract, you expand the tax base, then you'll be able to earn the trust of average citizens in such a way that they pay their taxes at will. It is not increasing the taxes. Aside that, we are even talking about increasing VAT. We have multiplicity of taxes, which is a big challenge on the part of business owners. Not to talk of the one we face with the local government, with the state government, and the federal. The local government seems to be worse because you don't know whether they call it levy. But what's accrued to them is much more than what you give even to the federal government and the state government. So if you're able to harmonize these taxes just in one, increase the base of those that pay taxes by making sure that some of the infrastructure needed for businesses are provided and the people are willing, because of the value proposition they are getting from paying their taxes, definitely you get more revenue from it. Well, the route of increasing the tax base is not the way to go. Increase the people that need to pay taxes, and the only way that can be done is earning their trust, their confidence that when they pay taxes, certain things will be put in place for them that will assist their business, and not them paying taxes in multiple places, by providing those infrastructure that is expected to be provided by government.
The Central Bank of Nigeria said the non-oil export proceeds repatriated into Nigeria soared to $4.987 billion in 2022 from $3.1 billion recorded in 2021. The bank further said in a bid to widen the foreign exchange revenue generation, it paid 81 billion naira in rebate to non-oil exporters in the country. The governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, made this disclosure on Tuesday during the second edition of the R2200 biannual conference dubbed RT200 Non-Oil Export Program, the Chile so far, which held in Lagos. The Apex Bank governor added that $1.559 billion was sold at the investors and exporters window or for own use. He noted that the recovery epitomized the resolve of the Apex Bank to fasten the acceleration of the export value chain in the country. He expressed optimism about the progress of the RT200 while reading out the performances recorded in the last 3 quarters, noting that they demonstrated the commitment of the Apex Bank to facilitate non-oil exports in the country. And speaking earlier on Business Breakfast, analyst Mokhtar Mohammed expressed optimism that Apex Bank's target of raking in $200 billion within 3 to 5 years through RT200 Forex program is achievable. He highlighted some of the possible challenges responsible for the current figures being recorded.
It's a target that can be achieved depending on the number of people that were involved. Remember that when they came out with this policy, the economy has not really opened up like that because of the COVID, and we have the Russia and Ukraine crisis at the moment. So when you look at with the challenges they've gone, then you need to still give it to them that they could be a game changer in the near future, because we expect a lot of these companies also to be registered. If you look at what the CBN governor was saying, some companies were not able to meet some of the conditions. So I believe that once those companies begin to meet the condition, and with the opening up of the economy now, we could begin to see a new
Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority Healthcare Development and Investment Company (NHDIC) has signed an agreement with the KWARA state government on its diagnostics and oncology expansion program to build, equip, maintain and operate a private modern medical diagnostic center and catheterization laboratory in Ilori, the state capital. The project is estimated to cost the NSIE around $5 to $7 million and is set to commence before the end of this year. The State's Commissioner for Health, Dr. Raji Razak, signed the agreement with the NSIA in Abuja on behalf of the state government. KWARA is in the first phase of the program along with Kaduna and Enugu states, with each center running as a joint venture between NCA, that's Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, and the respective states. The program is designed to curb medical tourism by providing Kwarans and Nigerians with access to world-class healthcare delivery. The result is the provision of high-quality, affordable and accessible health care to the local market, creation of jobs and development or training on the required clinical resources. And still to come, Brazil approves bill regulating use of Bitcoin as a means of payment. Details on more news update after this commercial break. Stay with us.